don't think you guys understand. I have actually downloaded Nakaba's brain. Like me and Nakaba are on the same wavelength here. After like seeing this chapter, the fact that this girl actually did turn out to be Gawain, and we had caught like we talked about this. We literally talked about this 2 chapters ago with that girl passing through the background. That is the same chick, and I want to say somebody else brought it up that she was also in the bar, like right before Pelgard fought. Yes, but aside from that, that prediction in the books, heard it here first. I'm sorry, I had to go off a little bit because I was actually kind of hyped that that one was actually right, because that one felt so far off. But into the review for chapter 60. In chapter 60, this it's honestly going a very interesting direction for all of this. Like I didn't expect Pelgard to like be this committed to Percival. Like it's actually kind of like it's not like weird, but like well it is weird, but it's not like creepy weird, but it's like shocking weird in the sense that he would put himself in this much danger being like in the middle of Leonis causing this much of a scene, all just to get Percival. So in the beginning of the video, we get Percival asking Pelgard why he has followed him this far, like why is he even here? And Pelgard just says that he followed him here from the Enchanted Forest, or I mean the Entangled Forest, and I'm assuming he's still trying to capture Percival. Like I said earlier, kind of strange that he would go through this far, and he does bring up, that he's one of the four knights of Apocalypse, like he says it. And this, like, Pelio's like, whoa, how do you even know that? Like, you're a regular commoner or even a regular knight. No one should really know about that. And then this basically starts to give up his, like this starts to blow his cover. And then Donnie full out says it that, he's, Pelgard, the Black Knight, is after Percival. And then, okay, so now Pelio knows that he is a Knight of Chaos, and, everything's starting to make sense. And no wonder he was so menacing. And then this just starts this huge fight, or I guess it's not like a huge fight, but this starts this like nice sized fight between Pelio and a couple of the holy knights that are just in the area versus Pelgard. And like one of the things that was so dope to me in this fight was like at the very beginning, Pelgard like walks back over to his cloak and he just like throws it on, and it just his whole suit of armor appears out of that cloak. That is probably one of the coolest ways to transform, in my opinion. Like, if anybody knows of any shows or anime or series where they transform by just throwing their cloak on, please let me know that in the comments, because I feel like I want to see that animated like way more than the regular person. Like that, like this panel will probably live in my head rent free for a while. Like this really solidified Pelgard as like one of my favorite characters. This is such a cool way to transform. The panel was dope. I'm probably gassing it a little bit, but probably just because it was really dope to me personally. Another random tidbit about all of this, like a little bit before this, and actually throughout the entire fight, one of the old members of the Weird Fangs is here in this fight. I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, but I think it's Golgis or something along those lines. But he was the one that had the ability to go turn like invisible and erase his presence and all that good stuff. It's kind of funny because in Seven Deadly Sins, this dude was like super early bad guy. He's like, to put it nicely, he's fodder. So like when I seen him, I already knew like what kind of time we were going to be on. I mean, granted, it has been like 16 years, so there is the strong possibility that he has gotten stronger. I can't imagine anybody saying the same strength for like 16 years. That's pretty sad. So he may have gotten stronger, but big doubt. Big doubt. And then it flashes over to the other part of the chapter. This chapter really only had like 2 main plot lines going on at the same time. Be the one with Pelgard and then the other one with Ysolda and Gawain. And basically Gawain is trying to comfort Ysolda, saying that, she can't leave a woman alone in tears, and she's basically trying to cheer her up and all of that. And she's getting kind of close. And it's funny because I didn't realize this. I didn't know this to my second read through, but to where Ysolda this entire time when she's talking to her, like before she actually visibly sees her and like is introduced to her, she thinks that Gawain is a man, like because she doesn't know who it is. Like she doesn't know that this is Gawain in these moments, or like that it's her talking to her, but she thinks that she's like being hit on by another guy, because she says like, she may be weak, but she's not so weak as to like run into another man's arms. And it didn't click to me until when I read it again. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of you guys probably caught it immediately, but for me, it didn't really click until I read it again. And I just think that's interesting because Gawain, as we've seen in the previous chapters and right now, she's even taller than Ysolda, so she's huge. Like, that's a big chick. Like, I know I said it with Isolde, but maybe Gawain could be part giant. Maybe like we know she's not related to Diane by any way because this person is related to Arthur. So this is we don't know what the relation is to Arthur, but this person is related to Arthur. And since there's no connection between Arthur and giants or Arthur and Diane, like in terms of like family relationships, we can pretty much throw out that she's a giant, but I was just throwing it out there. Probably, she's probably not. Just when you really think about it, no relation between Arthur and Diane, and Gawain confirmed to be related to Arthur. There's no way she's going to be a giant or related to Diane or be King and Diane's son. So I don't even want to see any of that. I know we're probably going to see it, but it doesn't make any sense. But from there, it flashes back over to more of Pelio's fight with Pelgard. You know, him and the other Holy Knights are kind of going off. They're kind of like, it's one of those things where I didn't really expect them to do decent against Pelgard, just because like Pelgard's supposed to be really, really, really powerful. And like, I just doubt like a bunch of random Holy Knights would be able to beat him. Granted, the one guy's from the Weird Fangs, so you know, he has a little bit of prestige to his name. But yeah, he really wasn't much use in this fight. Honestly, the person I was shocked about the most being Pelio. He has his magical ability, perverseness, which kind of sounds a little weird, but it's basically one of those abilities where it flips all of your senses. So you know, you try to move right, you go left, you try to pick something up, you put it down. One of those, and I'm a huge fan of those kind of abilities, just like in general. Like I remember back in like OG Naruto, like when Tsunade did it to Kabuto, or probably a more popular example of it would be like Shinji from Bleach or Untruth from Undead Unluck, if you guys read that. Like kind of one of those kind of, I like those kind of abilities a lot because they're really mental and like they can be super broken. Like you don't have to be really strong to have that kind of power, and it's always useful, super useful in like a team fight. So I really am a fan of this kind of ability. And it's funny because in all the instances where this ability is used, typically the person who gets it done to them is smart enough to kind of like reverse engineer their actions or do the opposite to make them do what they want to do. Like Aizen was able to overcome it with Shinji. Multiple opponents against Untruth and Shin have been able to like overcome it and kind of fight through it. You know, same thing for Kabuto. He was able to think about it and undo it. But Pelgard, we get a battle of him trying and he just can't. He can't move. Like he can't figure it out, which is just it's so different because, like I said, they always figure it out, but Pelgard's just like, nah, he's way too dense to figure it out. So he just is like, well, you know, if I can't move around, I'll just beat you guys with sheer magic, and just like unleashes a huge explosion of fire, and it just shows that like Pelgard is just way stronger than these guys. Like he's way stronger than these. Like when like any of the hits or all of that earlier, they're like he was just playing around. Like Pelgard, he just likes to fight. So like he's way stronger than these guys. So in the midst of the explosion that Pelgard does set off, it does like send rubble and debris and all that towards Isolde and Gawain. And this is when Gawain actually reveals herself to be like, you know, the master of the sun, and like, you know, shows herself to Isolde. I guess not really showed herself because she wasn't really hiding. She like, but we just get to fully see her, and we even get to see on her boots she does have the little sunshines and all that. So it's definitely, you know, 100% Gawain. Gawain is a girl for the Four Knights of Apocalypse, which, I mean, I know a lot of people we talked about this a lot of times, where it, like, we felt like the fourth knight had to be a girl just because it'd be weird to be all dudes. Is a little interesting, though, because the prophecy did say they were all young boys, but, I mean, you know, who cares, I guess. Who cares? We're just going to throw that out. I'm not super mad about it. It's not, like, the biggest deal in the world, but that is just something to take note of. Kind of interesting with her character, though, because immediately we're going to have people talking about does she have sunshine. That's like probably the biggest thing that's going to come up immediately with her claiming to be the master of the sun. Does she have sunshine? Now, I probably could make a whole nother video about that, but I don't think I am. I'm probably just going to talk about it right here. I mean, if I do, that'll be in the future, but I do want to touch on it right now. I don't know. I know I just said earlier in the video that I had Nakaba's brain downloaded, but this one's weird because like Mal has sunshine from, you know, the four archangels. That's his grace's sunshine. So it's one of those ones where it's like, why would Mal get rid of sunshine? Because with Escanor, he became Estarossa. His grace left. The grace, you know, went inside of Escanor. That's why Escanor had sunshine. But he's Mal now. So it's like, unless he like got corrupted again. I mean, we know he can give his grace up, but it's like, why would he do that? Like, why would he just randomly give away his grace? I mean, there could be this thing where maybe Arthur tracked down Mal and defeated him, or more or less forced him to relinquish his grace to Arthur, and then Arthur, since Gawain is related to him, gave it to Gawain as like a sign of good faith, or to make him more power, or to make her more powerful, or something along those lines. But I feel like with that theory, even though I do kind of like it after saying it out loud, I'm not going to lie to you, it feels like a lot. But I guess that would probably be like my only way I could think that this person has sunshine, and not like some sunshine adjacent type ability, if that makes sense. I would love to know what you guys think down below in terms of, does Gawain actually have sunshine, or is it some other form of sunshine, or some other thing like that, like similar to Miles Grace at all? Just kind of curious to know where you guys fall on that. Other than that, the big thing in the chapter would be Pelgard causing this huge ruckus. I mean, I guess if things get really, really, really bad, he can just teleportation beat out of there. I mean, that is totally a thing that exists in the realm of Seven Deadly Sins. So I mean, he's not like he's in a big danger of being captured, assuming he has the teleportation beat on him and he uses it and it doesn't get taken from him or anything like that. So there is that going on. I don't think he's going to capture Percival. Like, that's probably the biggest thing, because he wants Percival. So I mean, granted, it is possible he could snag Percival and teleport away, but at this moment, I don't think so. At this exact moment, I do not think so. But overall, I love this chapter. This chapter with the Pelgard hype transformation, getting to see Gawain, this was a fun chapter for me, for sure. So I'm going to give it a 9. That's probably a little bit higher. Like, probably tomorrow, if you'd ask me what this chapter was, I'd probably say 8. But right now, I'm going to give it a 9 because I'm pumped up. So that's what it's going to be. Let me know what you guys think about the chapter down below. Let me know about the sunshine thing that we talked about earlier. And also let me go about, let me know, can't talk, about how you think Pelgard is going to get out of here, what you think his actual goal is. Aside from that, you guys all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all in my next video.